back again with more coverage from reInvent 2023. We're in the Expo Hall. It's only Tuesday. It's a marathon, not a sprint. The only problem is it's a marathon every single day, but it's great fun. And I'm joined by the one and only Pranita Prakash. Pranita, welcome to Serverless Video. So you are a product manager and you're part of the developer tools.
That's right.
What does that encompass, and how long have you been doing this, and what brings you to reInvent?
So, hi, Pranita. Again, I think you mentioned it, but I'm with Developer Tools. I spend a lot of time thinking about how to make developers more productive with tools. And I spend a lot of time personally thinking about testing and the inner development loop. I was a developer for a long time, and then I have been a product manager for a few years now. So I'm really passionate about this space.
Cool. Yeah. So I know you're involved in some sort of services. You've got SAM, AWS SAM, which is our service application model. So that is a transform for CloudFormation, just puts your CloudFormation on steroids as well. And then also there's the CDK, which has become blown up crazy, the Cloud Development Kit, build infrastructure as code in your language of your choice. I know there have been some releases of CDK recently. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so CDK now supports taking a CloudFormation template, which we all know and love, and migrate that automatically to a CDK application, which is really cool because it gives you like this really good starting point, this launch pad to like write your own application, build on it, use the constructs you want. So we are really excited about that. We hope it helps people get started with CDK more easily. And then also CDK is really, really popular for how easy it is to share best practices. So this is what we kind of want to enable for more customers.
Yeah, and I know even the sort of bigger theme, which has been heartening for me, is the sort of integration with all these different services. And I know we've got so many different services at AWS, and the next thing we really are trying to solve, and ignoring GenAI, and I'm not even going to mention that, because GenAI does solve some of it, but all the other kind of things is to bring them sort of closer together. And I know not something quite necessarily in your wheelhouse, but for example, in the Lambda console now, you can build a Lambda function in the console. And everyone thinks, oh, it shouldn't be doing things in the console. Maybe it should be doing things as infrastructure as code. But now what you can do is you can just export that Lambda function directly into App Composer.
That's right.
And that's going to sync to your local file system, and you have infrastructure as code. It's literally like a click of the dot.
And not just that, you can just click a button and get it deployed instantly. And you can like use the SAM test features like SAM sync and like do rapid iteration cycles on it. So it's really helpful to kind of move from the console to a project space.
Yeah, so you can sort of start with it, because I'm also a visual person. I think building in the console has got its benefits because you can sort of see how things work. It's easy to click on the test button. But then you know that the longer you do that, the sort of further you get left behind. And now you've got that off ramp to do these kind of things.
That's right.
So you were talking about testing then, and I know there's a whole testing kit, so let us tell us about that.
So we launched integrated application test kit. I don't know if it's, I'll try. And what it really is we talked to a lot of customers, and we heard that testing integrations in applications. And we know in serverless, that's all of your application is just connection.
One big box of code. You've got integration between different services.
That's right. So how do you move fast? How do you feel confident with that those integrations are working early in your developer cycle? Like you really need to have those automated tests that run in the cloud. Like we know that the cloud is the best place to test completely.
And that's because you have your IAM permissions, and you've got throttles, quotas, permission, all that kind of stuff.
So what this like tiny but mighty library does right now, which is it's in Python. And you can use PyTest. Like you can use tools that exist, and you can have it run on any application that you've deployed using whatever IAC. All you need to do is like, hey, this is the event bridge. I want to pull out an event from and test that this looks as I expect. And it's a really easy test to write because it creates the pollers, it creates the test harness for you before the test. Pulls it out. You can do all your tests. You can go red or green, and then it will delete all that test infrastructure that it created for you.
And then just does that automatically.
Yeah, so you can like configure the exit conditions for the pollers, the timeouts. It's really, really cool. I hope people use it. It's in preview, and we're really looking
for. What's the full name, and how should people find it?
Oh, okay. It is called AWS Integrated Application Test Kit. Sorry.
AWS Integrated
Application Test Kit.
Okay.
And it's on GitHub, and it's really easy to find it there. You can also find it on the Event Bus console documentation page. Yeah.
And also, I'm telling you more information if you go to serverlessland.com/testing. There is vast amounts of information there. There's a whole automated testing guide. So that's all about end-to-end testing, which Dan Fox, who's also involved in the test kit, has been involved with. He's an expert on that as well. So yeah, and I think I'm heartened as well that we tackling the testing story, because that's always been the thing in serverless that everybody loves the architecture of serverless, loves the scalability and everything. But that testing story was harder, and it's a big job to do. We've got to chip away with it slowly, and get your feedback as well of what kind of things you want to cover.
That's right. We are kind of heading towards test-driven development to help you guys move faster. So
that's interesting. In the keynote this morning, I had a bit of a chuckle because they were talking about the code whisper integration. You write your code, and then it creates your test for you. And I'm thinking, some purists are going to go, but aren't you meant to write the test first and then write the code? And then I'm like,
that's how I do it.
That's how you're meant to do it. But seriously, the good thing is if you do write code, then actually to make sure that your test coverage is 100%, just ask Gen AI. So we were going to talk about Gen AI, but landed up anyway.
I'll be back here to
Thursday. We've got some other announcements. You can tell us if we're friends. But yeah, in fact, in the whole sort of testing thing and in your world, if we had to sort of peek into the future, even into next year, what's the sort of kind of things you're looking at, or even wanting feedback on sort of what you want to work on next?
Well, a lot in the inner development loop. We want to help you with deployment debugging. We want to help you with making sure your application code is set up correctly. And we're just doing different, multiple things. I feel like it's a death by 1,000 paper cuts right now.
That's what I was saying with the whole testing, chipping away, because it is small little chips.
Yeah. So really, that's my passion. I want to complete this story end to end.
Well, Pradesh, thanks so much for joining us live again on this video. We appreciate you spending your time, and good luck with all the future announcements and the cool things coming next year.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.